Pokemon battling at its core is simple. You choose a move and you use it. The fastest one hits first, or the priority move hits first, and then the other one hits. Turn-based, super organized. If you're not playing VGC, you barely have to think any further than that. Maybe remember the type chart, but that's about it. And it was always like this until the release of Pokémon Legends Arceus. So hey, I'm not so a strainer, and will it be the same for Z2A? Let's get into it. Pokémon Legends Arceus introduced Agile style and Strong style and changed the Pokémon Battle System. Strong style moves were, well, stronger and had a higher chance of triggering a secondary effect, but they lowered your action speed. Agile style moves made you move earlier, though they lacked power. This meant that you could play around with them and actually attack more than once in a row. This action speed thing is something new to Pokemon, but something you can find in a lot of other RPGs, so it is a tried and true battle system, as tried and true as liking this video and subscribing to this channel. So everything will likely stay the same for Pokémon Legends Z2A, right? Well, there's a couple things that make me think otherwise. The way Agile style and Strong style are depicted, there's a clear Eastern inspiration to them. In fact, if you think about it, they are kinda similar to the whole Rapid Strike Urshifu with Agile style and Single Strike Urshifu with Strong style. And so, I don't think they fit a game that is happening in Kalos, which takes inspiration from France, unless they add or change some things. There's also the fact that Hisui, in terms of its concept, appears to be very different from what we saw Lumio's city to be in the trailer. It's more, well, wild, just like I feel the styles are. That could simply be fixed by them changing the names of the styles, but that would be very strange. Would they do that for every single new Legends game? If we go to Galar next, would we be using Sword style and Shield style? That doesn't sound like a good decision. And so, while I think the action speed part will remain the same, there will be some extra things added or reworked for the battle system. There were some issues with these two different battle styles. A lot of times, Pokémon Legends Arceus battling became about spamming Strong style when in the wild, and it lacked depth. And a very limited amount of plot battles kinda didn't let you fully experience this new system unless you went for the dojo. I expect things to be a bit different in Lumio City. Even if the game happens around the same time as Pokémon Legends Arceus, since it fits the Haussmann renovation of Paris being the likely inspiration, the fact alone that we already have a city makes me think that the relationship between humans and Pokemon is a tad more developed. Even if a bit strained, considering the search for harmony that the redevelopment has for its goal. This would mean that we would be battling a lot more trainers than we had to in Pokémon Legends Arceus, and so we need a more developed battle system. Not just because of how more battles means that the battle system needs to be alluring for a longer period of time, but also because if people in Lumio City understand Pokemon better, then the battle system should reflect that. It should be more than hit slow and strong or hit fast and soft. For example, in Pokémon Legends Arceus we were attacked by multiple Pokémon at the same time. And the same thing happened in some battles. The people from the Diamond and Pearl clans didn't really care for one-on-one rules. Despite this, we were never really able to use another Pokémon to defend ourselves. Maybe because we didn't have the experience, although we did kinda have it since we come from the future. In Pokémon Legends Z2A, I expect us to be able to control more than one of our Pokémon. So, double battles are one thing I can see changing the landscape in the new Legends game. Most RPGs have multi-battling as a thing with your party versus the enemy party, and they still carry the action speed system, giving a lot of depth to the battles. Pokemon battling also kept evolving after Gen 1, becoming deeper and deeper, and for example, in Gen 2 we could use held items, and in Gen 3 we started using abilities. Both of these were gone in Pokémon Legends Arceus, which a lot of people did not like since that is one of the few ways we have to actually add a bit of our personal touch to the Pokémon. But one of them I can see return in Pokémon Legends Z2A. There were 4 things needed to Mega Evolve most Pokémon. You needed the actual Pokémon you were going to Mega Evolve, you needed a Mega Ring or Mega Bracelet, you needed a Key Stone, and you needed the Pokémon to be holding its actual Mega Stone. Sure, this can be changed and you'll be carrying 47 different Mega Stones in your bag at all times, though I can't honestly see this being the better choice than simply adding held items to the game. The number would likely be limited. I cannot see them implementing every single held item that exists in regular Pokemon, but just a smaller number of them would instantly change the way we battle. So, held items, the action speed system, and the occasional double battle are 100% features I can totally see returning or being implemented in Pokémon Legends ZA. And also I can completely see horde battles becoming a thing again, since this is Kalos and being attacked by multiple Pokémon is already kind of a Pokémon Legends feature. But what else do I see changing? Like I said, simply changing the name of Agile Style and Strong Style wouldn't do it. Keeping the name and changing the effect would also be counterintuitive, since people already are used to those. Completely removing the two in favor of something else would eventually make developing a Legends Game battle system a living hell, since while the gimmick does change from Pokémon Game to Pokémon Game, the core of battles is the same. And no, I don't see Strong Style and Agile Style as a gimmick in the same level as Mega Evolution, so I don't see it replacing them. What I see is the addition of something that was undoubtedly missing from our first adventure in this new Legends series. I would add counterplay. Effectively predicting the style, or lack thereof, that your opponent will use will grant you the ability to stop them from using it, basically negating the damage but taking your turn. It would add defense to the game. This would be especially useful if double or multi-battles are indeed a thing, since Protect, the move that was removed, is very important in those. Again, most RPGs already have a defend option, and since they are leaning more on the non-Pokemon RPG or action RPG concept for Legends games, or at least it appears so from the first one, then it would be a no-brainer to add the same thing to Legends ZA. Make it so there's the option to either simply defend, to try and predict a basic move, and then a strong or agile defense so you can try to predict your opponent. Together with held items, it would add some more depth into the gameplay, and in my opinion, even make it so that multiplayer battles became more of a possibility. Let's be honest, nobody or almost nobody would want to play Legends Arceus in multiplayer battles. The system was too much of a gamble and incredibly fast-paced, but not in a good way. The thing is, that fit the way Hisui was presented to us, wild and dangerous, a place where Pokemon wanted to take you down. While I can see the same thing being the case for Lumiose City, with Pokemon being angry at us, I'm sure that the setting itself will allow us to be less impulsive and think a little bit more before taking the next action. And so, the inclusion of double or multi-battles, held items, and the ability to defend, while keeping the action speed system and the strong and agile style, that's how I would change Pokemon battles for Pokémon Legends ZA. But who knows what they have in mind. And that is all I have for you today, how I would add a little bit more depth to the Pokémon Legends battle system. But what about you? Would you change anything? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content, and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. Also, you can become a channel member or check out my merch in order to further support the channel. All the links are in the description. You can follow me on social media or check out one of my streams here and on Twitch. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.